What's good, everybody? It's your man CJ Kyles, the high value nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. Now, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are right here with me, and I'm very glad to have you. Now, let's get into it.
You can live pretty well by yourself.
I want to talk about the Emmys this past whenever it happened, and some of the backlash that the Emmys that they've been receiving from people, more so people of color. Now, with me being the person that I am and having the dreams that I have and wanting to get into acting and everything like that, I've already come to the realization that a lot of the things that I'm just going to have to do on my own, which is a good thing and can also be a bad thing. The negative, it taking a little bit longer to get where I want to get. But the positive, it forces me to work harder. It forces me to be a creative. It forces me to stay on point as somebody, as an artist, and whatever I decide to do. With that being said, independence is probably going to be my way. Point blank, period. But as far as being in mainstream Hollywood, some time ago, the Emmys had taken place. And a lot of people are upset that not too many black people end up winning at the Emmys. I do believe JB Smoove won. Shout out to JB Smoove. But I think a lot of people, especially black people, people of color, are upset that a lot of blacks were nominated, but a lot of them didn't end up winning. And it is what it is. But my question is, at this point, when do we stop looking for acceptance by the dominant society? When do we stop doing that? Because at this point, there are just too many avenues, and there are just too many ways that people can put themselves on. And that is the thing. I think with a lot of people, we wait for opportunities. We wait for somebody to give us an award. We wait for somebody to give us a part in a movie. We wait for somebody to give us a TV show. We wait for somebody to give us a podcast. More so than doing the research, doing the work, figuring out what it takes to be successful, watching other successful people putting in that work and putting that plan into motion and do what you're supposed to do. Now, with that being said, when you are backed by systems in Hollywood, when you are backed by the machine, of course, you get a lot more notoriety, a lot more fame. People start to notice you, but they do it on their dime, which means your exposure, your fame, your notoriety, and more importantly, your money is dependent on what the powers that be say. And the one thing about being an independent, you cannot be handcuffed creatively. You can do what you want to do. You can express yourself as an artist. And I think that is going to be the role that a lot more people, especially people of color, are going to have to start taking. Let me give you an example. People are so upset that the Emmys and the Grammys and all these other big award shows, they feel like they're not getting recognized. Some people of color feel like they are not getting the respect. They are not getting the homage. They are not getting their props. And in a lot of cases, it's true. But at the same time, I'm not the person that's going to sit up here and wait for an opportunity to wait for an award. Because quite frankly, I don't remember the last time I've actually sat and watched an award show. I don't care about awards. I really don't. And it's crazy because if you would have asked me 5-10 years ago, well, the only thing I wanted in the world was a Grammy. I wanted a Grammy and an Oscar. Like, I really wanted those things. I wanted them. And not to say that it wouldn't be nice to receive those things. But I would, if I were to receive them, I would want to receive them due to my hard work that I put in. Not because somebody felt like, and I know awards are decided by a committee and people decide what kind of awards you get. So your fate is literally in somebody else's hands. But if I were to ever get to that level on my own, I would want it to be that the reason I got to that level was because I did it on my own. and not some machine, not me begging for an opportunity, is that somebody saw what I was doing. They liked what I was doing. They partnered up, and it was a beneficial situation for both parties. That's why I have respect for people like Tariq Nasheed, independent filmmakers, doing what they do, making things happen, not waiting for an opportunity, not waiting for an award. We don't care about that. And for years, I've always said, well, why not? If you're so upset with not being recognized, why not create your own Grammys? Why not create your own Oscars and really treat it as something prestigious? I felt like that's always been the solution. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. Do you need acceptance from those people that bad? From that committee? Do you need that acceptance that bad to really be confident and secure in what you're doing as an artist? Once upon a time, that would have been a yes for me. But as I continue to grow, the harder I continue to work, the more this platform grows, the more that I start to embrace independence. I really do cherish it because the win is sweeter when you do win, whatever you consider a victory. For example, I'm going to start putting out music again. If I sell 10,000 copies, it'll be because I put that work in. I didn't depend on any kind of system. I put it in on my own. I put my own money and I invested in myself. And that's another thing too, especially when you push independence. A lot of people don't like to put in the work. They don't like to run that check because in order to make money, you have to spend it. You have to generate a budget. Ladies and gentlemen, this takes hard work. This isn't easy. This equipment that you see here it wasn't free. Nobody handed this to me. I didn't wait for somebody to say, well, hey, let me do this. Let me do that. Let me tell you how I ended up even getting this equipment and having my own podcast. I really wanted to start a podcast, right? And the podcast studio I was going to, good people, but it wasn't what I wanted, right? As far as when I needed my content delivered, edited up, all that good stuff. It wasn't when I needed it. So what I decided to do was to do some research, invest in myself, and buy my own equipment. Started my own podcast. Got my own studio. It is what it is. And that's the thing. It's easy to let somebody else do the legwork for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us just want to be artists and create. We want to create content, and that's it. And unfortunately, if you are not around certain people, if you are not in those spaces, if you don't know those plugs, you are going to have to put in the work and do it yourself until you become a success on your own or until somebody notices you and you can partner up. I don't believe in signing to anybody. I believe in partner relationships where we can both benefit if we are going to partner up. If it's something I can do for you, you can do something for me. Let's become partners. But signing to somebody being my boss on that avenue, I don't believe in that. So when it comes down to situations like the Emmys and the Grammys and award shows, so what? So what, you didn't win? Who cares? Start your own award show if it's that big of a deal. Start your own media company. Start your own podcast. Start your own movies. All that kind of stuff. Yes, that stuff takes time, but you do it on your own. And when your base and your fans and your supporters, when they get that and they appreciate your body of work, then I feel like that is more satisfying than any kind of award. Now, your perception is your perception. Your perspective is your perspective. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, nobody's going to give you anything. Not an Emmy. It's just not going to come for free. And we do live in a society where, you know, the color of your skin may determine what kind of awards or prizes that you may get within their industry. So I'm not saying that you can't be successful within that industry and being black. Plenty of people have done it, but I rather them respect me first as an artist and develop options for myself before I go begging for anybody's movie role. That's why I respect Issa Rae. She created a platform. People noticed it. She partnered up. I respect that. I really do respect that. I'm a superhero fan. I like comics. If you look at some of these fan-made films, they look better than some of the normal ones. Some of the big budget produced Hollywood ones, or just be on par with them. So that right there is what gets me excited and what gets me going. I like the challenge. I don't want to be anybody's major label artist or signed to any production company where they can tell me what to do, when to do, how to do it. I'm not with all that. I'm into independence. I value my independence, especially as a creative. I don't want to be handcuffed. Therefore, I'm not going to cry over awards that were never really meant for me to win in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is CJ I am the High Value Nurse. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I greatly appreciate you tuning in for this video. And until next time, boys and girls, I'll holler at you in a minute. Peace.